Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
This morning, a family is without a home after it went up in flames on San Antonio's west side. Up next, the pets that did not make it out.
Newly released 911 calls are revealing the deadly rampage inside a Louisville bank.
Is that shot fired? Yeah. Just stay quiet.
Just ahead, the warning a woman who identified herself as the mother of the suspect gave to police before that shooting.
Another cool morning out there, down to the mid-50s at San Antonio International Airport. We have Mike's forecast coming up in just moments. Good morning, everybody. It's Thursday, April 13th.
Thanks for joining us. Got a little warm yesterday, but we're wondering if that's going to change for today. So let's go ahead and check in with Mike.
But it was just a fantastic day
nice,
again
though.
yesterday. And still we weren't quite up to par. 79 high temperature, normal high is 80. We're going to go up a degree or so. But yeah, this wonderful, wonderful weather. So jacket, no jacket.
This morning?
Jacket,
I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, to say that 3 times fast. I don't know, something like that. We've got lots of clear skies as we were talking about. And yes, it is definitely chilly out there this morning. And we do have just a hint of a little bit of fog up there right around New Braunfels, 6 miles visibility, and then a bit more over toward Victoria. Those are the only 2 spots reporting anything right now. Maybe some down there right around Corpus Christi. But once again, you need to just be on the lookout for a little bit of that fog to try and form up. So at 57 right now in town, 50 comfort and mid-50s in the rest of the metropolitan area. These numbers, albeit still very low, have crept up ever so slightly, a couple of degrees compared to yesterday. Still nice out there, but that's going to be the trend where this is just going to edge up a little bit. The humidity will, the dew points, as we go in through the day. Still going to be a very nice day, maybe not as perfect as what we had around here yesterday. Oak is on the high side, mold is moderate. And yeah, jacket this morning, we will drop down a few more degrees over the course of the morning with, again, a patch or 2 of fog here or there. It's not going to be widespread. And then later on this afternoon, we make it up to 82. Just an absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous day. Still, there's a hint more humidity out there. Things will start to change tomorrow. Still have a small chance of a strong storm. And I think overall, the majority of the weekend's looking pretty good. Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Steph, Mark.
Thank you, Mike. 2 cats are dead and a family is without a home after it went up in flames on the city's west side.
According to the San Antonio Fire Department, the fire happened just after 9 p.m. last night in the 1600 block of Melissa Sue. Alyssa Cole joins us live this morning. And Alyssa, that family wasn't home when the fire happened.
Yes, that's exactly right. The family was not home. Firefighters said the family who lived at the home had been gone since noon, but when they returned, they found it covered in smoke. The family tried to go inside to find the source of smoke, but were unable to due to the amount of smoke on the inside. Fire officials say they also tried to rescue their 2 cats, but were unsuccessful. They then notified SAFD, and then crews arrived. They found flames coming from the home. Fire crews were able to extinguish the fire in about 10 minutes. The cause is still unknown right now. No other injuries were reported. Damage inside the home from the fire is estimated to be about at $50,000. Mark, Stephanie.
Thank you. A warning that this next story may be disturbing. We're hearing the dramatic 911 call made inside the bank during that shooting rampage in Louisville earlier this week. As
ABC's Rhiannon Alley reports, in it we hear one mother's desperate call for help.
This morning, newly released 911 calls reveal just as the deadly rampage inside a Louisville bank was unfolding Monday, a woman identifying herself as the shooter's mother was trying to warn police.
My son might be because he has a gun and he's heading toward the Old National at on Main Street here in Louisville.
Main Street, Old National?
I don't know what to do. I need your help. I think he's never hurt anyone. He's a really good kid. Please don't come up to him. Please, he's non-violent. He's never done anything. Please.
Okay, and you don't believe he owns guns?
I know he doesn't own any guns.
She apparently wasn't aware he had purchased an AR-15 just days earlier. Sources say he had been told he was being fired from his job at the bank and left a note and texted or called at least one person saying he was suicidal. As the shooting began, more 911 calls. This caller was hiding in a closet.
Is that shot fired?
Yeah.
Okay, just stay quiet.
Officials say the shooter first opened fire on a meeting. Another caller was attending virtually using Microsoft Teams software.
Stop right here. Back up, back up, back up, back up.
3 minutes after those first 911 calls, officers Nicholas Wilt and Corey Galloway arrived on the scene. Wilt was shot in the head. Galloway was grazed by a bullet and then shot the gunman. In the end, 5 people were killed, many more injured. The city coming together last night at a vigil to remember the lives lost.
I'm a new neighbor, and I feel hit in my soul gut.
Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
A bombshell report revealing who could be the leaker of highly classified military documents. The Washington Post says the leaker is a gun enthusiast in his 20s who worked on a military base. The leaker's friend tells the Post he shared several documents a week beginning late last year with a group of about 24 people via an online chat room popular with gamers. The top secret files suggest potential problems for Ukraine, including a dire shortage of air defense missiles. The head of Ukrainian military intelligence says he spoke to his U.S. counterparts about the leak and accuses Russia of trying to weaken relations with Ukraine's partners and destabilize the situation.
Former President Donald Trump is expected to visit the offices of New York's Attorney General today for his second deposition in a legal battle over his company's business practices. The Republican is scheduled to meet with lawyers for Attorney General Letitia James. Her lawsuit claims that Trump misled banks and others about the value of his assets. Now, Trump met once previously with James's lawyers but refused to answer questions, invoking his Fifth Amendment protection against self-incrimination. The lawsuit is unrelated to the felony criminal charges filed against Trump last week by the Manhattan District Attorney.
Several days of nonstop rain in South Florida is transforming roadways into rivers. Some areas saw more than a foot of rainfall in 24 hours yesterday. The Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport had to close because the surrounding roads were flooded, and it will remain shut down until at least this afternoon. Could be a while before things start to dry out. The Weather Prediction Center says strong to severe storms from Texas could be heading eastward today and tomorrow. Right now, 437, 56 degrees.
It's a must-win scenario for the San Antonio Brahmas. Up next, what has to happen in order for the team to make it into the XFL playoffs?
Checking traffic right now, see if there are any problems out there in advance of Steven's arrival here in the studio. There's Highway 90 at Nogalitos. No problems.
And let's look out there with live cam. It's like Mike said, a jacket, no jacket kind of day. This morning we're starting off cold, 56 degrees, so you'll need it for sure in the morning hours and maybe put it away later this afternoon. We'll be right back.
In the XFL, the 2-6 San Antonio Brahmas are getting ready to host the Orlando Guardians this weekend. San Antonio lost 17-15 to the Houston Roughnecks at the Alamo Dome on Easter Sunday. With 2 regular season games left, the Brahmas are facing elimination from the XFL playoffs. Brahmas need to win their final 2 games and hope the Arlington Renegades lose their final 2 games as well.
Man, there's still a chance, to obviously get in the playoff, man. We need a little help, but that's still an opportunity, so we're going to keep fighting and playing hard, man, until they tell us we have no chance, you know what I'm saying? So it's about pride, man. It's about, something bigger than yourself, man. Every time you play football, you want to put your best effort on tape, you know what I'm saying? Especially in a league like this, it's an opportunity to get yourself, a chance to go to the NFL.
The Brahmas will host the Guardians Saturday at 6 p.m. at the Alamo Dome. World Series champion Houston Astros closed out their 3-game series at Pittsburgh yesterday. Top of the 4th, Stros leading 1-0. Corey Julks hammers that ball to left field for his first major league home run. Astros lead 2-0, and the dude who grabbed the homer threw it back. Bottom of the 6th, Julks showing off defensive skills when he makes this beautiful sliding catch. In shallow left field, Alex Bregman added a 3-run homer in the 7th. The Astros take it 7-0 to get their first series win of the season. Texas Rangers shortstop Corey Seager will be out 4 to 6 weeks after suffering a grade 2 hamstring strain earlier this week. Happened during the 5th inning as he was pulling into second after doubling to left field. He was off to a great start, leading the Rangers with a .359 batting average, also 7th best in the AL. Josh Smith is now going to see a lot of time over at shortstop. As for the game last night, Royals win at 10-1. Texas will play at Houston tomorrow night. It was Military Appreciation Night at the Wolf last night. Mission's hosting Rough Riders. Top of one, Frisco looking at the score. Batter rips the ball to Luis Aviles Jr. He makes a diving stop, then throws to second for the out. Connor Hollis throws home, and we have a pickle. Rough Riders runner from second was trying to score. He gets tagged out and inning over. Top two, Evan Carter cranks a 3-run homer to right center field. 3-0, and Frisco rolls 7-1. The series continues tonight out at the Wolf.
All right, good luck to the Missions. Time now, 4:42 and 56 degrees for now. Dentists say the number of patients grinding their teeth at night has gone up nearly 70% in the last 3 years. Up next, the top ways you can relieve the tension and save your teeth.
And next, a warning from a mother about a scary new kidnapping scam where the scammer used AI technology to replicate her daughter's voice.
And welcome back. It's 4:45. An Arizona mother is describing a terrifying kidnapping scam involving the AI created voice of her daughter. ABC's Ariel Reshef has the details in today's GMA First Look.
In this morning's GMA First Look, a warning from a mother who says she was the victim of a scary scam. Jennifer DeStefano says when she recently received a call from an unknown number, she almost didn't answer. But her 15-year-old daughter, Brianna, was on a skiing trip and she worried it could be an emergency. So she picked up.
It's my daughter's voice crying and sobbing, saying, "Mom." And I'm like, okay, what happened? She's like, "Mom, these bad men have me. Help me, help me."
Within minutes, they confirmed her daughter was safe. She says it was all a scheme using artificial intelligence to replicate her daughter's voice.
I've tried to comb through my head where could they have gotten this, and I cannot figure it out, which is also kind of scary because then you're wondering how much are they paying attention to you.
And coming up at 7 a.m., what you need to know to protect yourself. With your GMA First Look, I'm Ariel Reshef, ABC News, New York.
Teeth clenching or teeth grinding is on the rise.
And as well as your sides, Marilyn Moritz reports it can lead to big problems if it's not treated.
If you wake up with a sore jaw, it could be a sign you grind or clench your teeth at night. And you have plenty of company. The American Dental Association says the number of patients reporting these symptoms has soared by a whopping 69% since 2020. It's actually a medical disorder called bruxism. That's when the patient clenches or grinds their teeth unconsciously at night or even during the day.
According to dentists, there are a large number of possible causes, but the main factors that could increase your risk of developing bruxism include stress, anxiety, and tension.
People with bruxism may wake up with a sore or stiff jaw or neck, headaches or ringing in the ears, and it can lead to damaged teeth. If this is you, see your dentist to determine the severity and a plan of action.
Wearing a guard at night is your first line of defense against bruxism, according to some dentists. A guard puts space between your upper and lower teeth and allows your jaw muscles to relax. A guard that's made by your doctor or an endodontist will probably be more effective than an over-the-counter one, but also more expensive.
Physical therapists can also teach exercises for your neck and jaw muscles. And for severe cases, your dentist may even suggest Botox injections. Many people find yoga and meditation can also help ease jaw tension. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Let's take a look at the roads with TransGuide. Didn't see any problems earlier, but here's a look at Highway 90 at Nogalitos, where things are moving early this morning.
All I saw was construction on the TransGuide maps. We're in kind of that sweet spot this time of year here in South Texas between potential storms now and then when things really start to heat up around here. So enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah, and the past couple of days have been absolutely spectacular. We've got more beautiful weather coming in here. Actually, Saturday afternoon and Sunday, it's going to be really, really nice. The humidity, I mean, yeah, it has been a gift being relatively low, and that's what's been allowing temperatures to cool down pretty well. We got a lot of clear skies out there right now. We do have, though, a couple of hints of fog, Randolph as well as New Braunfels. So we're starting to see that, and even the reason being, we've got temperatures still in the mid-50s around here. We're right at our normal low, or degree below it, and then 50s in parts of the hill country, up a couple of notches from where it was yesterday. But then these numbers are running neck and neck. Once again, dew points measure moisture in the atmosphere with the actual air temperature. That combined with the fact that we have clear skies out there and very light wind, that's why we're seeing some of this fog trying to form up. And it's not like dew points went up a whole bunch. 1, 2, 3, 4 degrees in the past 24 hours compared to this time yesterday, but that's going to continue to be the trend with dew points just slowly creeping up as we go on through the day. Still, it's going to be a nice day this afternoon, but we'll really start to see the humidity increase then overnight and going into tomorrow. So we will drop down a few more degrees in the next couple of hours and then get up to 75 at noon today. A lot of sunshine once again, a few extra clouds, especially some high clouds out there, and we are going to make it up to 81 for a high temperature later on today. So yesterday, we had those just absolutely spectacular, beautiful blue skies, all this very dry air, this darker shade of gray in the water vapor imagery, and even this little batch right in here where it's really, really dry air. But there's a bit more moisture trying to come on in here upstairs in the atmosphere. So there may be a bit more of a milky shade to the sky as we go into later on this afternoon. But again, still a great looking day. Now, as we go into tonight, then we're going to see a few more clouds scattered about here and there. And especially tomorrow morning, perhaps a speck of mist here and there tomorrow morning. And then we're just going to keep a lot of clouds around throughout the day. Now, this computer model has a couple of showers trying to pop up around here. The odds of rain, once again, are really, really small tomorrow and then going on into Saturday morning. However, once again, got to emphasize that the atmosphere is going to be very volatile tomorrow night as well as early Saturday. So if anything does happen to pop up, it can become strong, potentially severe very easily. So that's what we're going to have to watch out for, especially tomorrow night and then early on Saturday. Now, as far as the timing of the front coming on through here on Saturday, it's going to be a little bit earlier on in the day. So we're going to see some drier air coming on in here. But as we go in through the overnight hours and tomorrow, here comes the moisture moving on in here. And that's going to be the case going in through the first part of the day on Saturday. But like I said, then that front and the drier air is going to come on through here. And that's going to be, it looks like midday on Saturday afternoon, but that's got another issue with it. We'll talk about that in a second. 75 degrees today at noon, mostly sunny skies. High temperature is going to make it up to 81. Still mostly sunny skies, and we'll start to see more humidity, especially overnight. More clouds around here tomorrow, 82. Now, the chance, again, for any rain is very, very small, but if something pops, could be strong. Then we start off very humid on Saturday, and what it's looking like right now is the dry air comes in here. The dry air heats up much more easily, so we are going to be peaking at 90 on Saturday. However, humidity will drop down, and then great looking on Sunday, Saturday overnight, Sunday, Monday. Chance of rain Tuesday, Wednesday.
No, that doesn't work for us, Mike. Saturday, that the temperatures on either side of that look outstanding, so we need to work on Saturdays.
On the middle.
High temperature, if at all possible.
Aren't we picky?
Yeah. You were trying, though. Throughout the week, he was putting like 88, 89.
I've got lower humidity coming on in here, so.
Okay, all right. Partial credit? Partial success.
Yeah.
452, 56 degrees.
And goodbye, HBO Max. Up next, why the streaming service is changing names. Plus, and a big milestone for a popular Lady Gaga song, how Just Dance is setting records 15 years later.
HBO Max is going away, sort of, and a Prime Video show starts its final season.
For the latest of what's happening in Hollywood, here's ABC's Jason Nathanson.
One last season premiere party for Mrs. Maisel. The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel cast gathered to celebrate the 5th and final season. Star Rachel Brosnahan says it's been special to hear from women who were inspired by her character, an unfulfilled housewife turned stand-up comic in 1950s New York.
A lot of young women trying stand-up comedy for the first time, which is so awesome and long overdue. It's been incredible to hear how Midge's legacy has already affected people, and I'm really excited to see how she lives on.
The final season of The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel debuts Friday on Amazon Prime Video. Bye-bye HBO Max and hello Max. Warner Brothers Discovery has announced that when HBO Max and Discovery Plus combine into one streaming service May 23rd, the new streamer will be called Max, and there will also be various different pricing tiers. The company also confirmed a Harry Potter series based on the original books is coming, along with another Game of Thrones prequel series. That's a lot of dancing. Lady Gaga's single Just Dance has been certified diamond, meaning sales of 10 million units. The song debuted 15 years ago. And happy birthday to Allison Williams. The Megan actress is 35 today. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Hey, folks, don't be surprised if you see other apps start to merge as well, streaming services, things like that.
Yeah, I'm not ready for that because, the price will be kind of just going all over the place.
Agreed. About 3 till right now, 55 degrees.
And just ahead on GMSA, a new report is revealing who could be the leaker of some highly classified military documents, how the Biden administration is trying to contain it.
San Antonio police say a man was hit by a vehicle last night as he was running away from officers. Just ahead, his condition this morning and why he was wanted by SAPD.
And ahead on GMSA at 6, inflation has affected so much of our lives in the last year that we're going to explain how it will impact your taxes.
And checking TransGuide right now, I-35 at Topper Wine with some flashing lights. That may be some of the construction that we were seeing on the TxDOT map earlier this morning. We'll talk to Stephen about it coming up at the top of the hour.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
A deadly shootout on San Antonio's east side overnight. Just ahead, where those shots happened and what the suspects were driving when they got away.
And let's look out there with live cam. We're starting at 55 degrees. When you step outside, you notice it'll be cool again, so you'll need that sweater later on. But right now, we're going to be checking with Mike really soon to see, if we're going to need that all day. It's a pretty day yesterday.
We are one day closer to the weekend. Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, April 13th.
Yes, we made it to Thursday. Happy Thursday. Let's go ahead and check in with Mike.
Yeah, another fantastic. Yesterday was just spectacular again. 2 days in a row with a cool morning and nice afternoon. Today's going to be pretty darn nice as well. Just a hint more humidity out there, and we are seeing a couple more patches of some fog. We really didn't see much of anything around here yesterday. 56 degrees right now, and notice how the bottom number, dew point 52. Compare those to each other and you get 87% humidity with no breeze out there and those clear skies. So those are some of the ingredients that give us some of this patchy fog around here. 81 for high temperature today. So yesterday we were 2 degrees higher than the previous day, and then today 2 degrees higher than where we were yesterday. The aquifer and yesterday's reading went down 0.2 of a foot, and the allergens, oak did come down a lot, still on the high side. Mold came down a whole bunch as well, and pecan is low. Of course, the updated count is going to be coming out about 7:30 or so later on this morning. All right, visibility around the area. We've got a couple of patches of fog now. New Braunfels was at 6 miles, now down to 5. Randolph, 9 miles visibility, so it has actually improved ever so slightly. So not a lot of thick fog, and a couple of more spots down around Beeville, a little bit, especially along the coastal plain. And that right now is pretty much it. But of course, we'll always have to keep watching over the next couple of hours. Mostly clear, cool, again, light jacket, a patch or two of fog. We're slightly below normal, by the way, normal low being 58 degrees. And then lots of sunny skies, and we are going to be seeing temperatures getting up there. Then we go into, still pretty nice around here. That should be today, and then we have the weekend. And the front's going to be moving through here a little bit sooner as we go on into Saturday. Now, we do still have that small chance for some rain, but if anything pops, could be on the strong, potentially severe side as we go into tomorrow night and then early on Saturday morning. But we're going to start to clear on out. Hot on Saturday, lower humidity, and Sunday looks fantastic. So all those details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Steve Cavazos. Good morning, sir. What's going on?
It's just the way we like it over here, Mike. Let's get a look at the quiet roadways as we get the morning rolling. 281 at 410, not far from the airport. Very quiet shot. Even 10 at Callahan. Drove by that area a little bit earlier this morning, making my way to the station, and thankfully there were no major delays to report. But you see, although the roads may look clear, that doesn't mean they're entirely open. We still have some road closures to talk about, and of course we'll break that down for you throughout the morning. But for right now, if you plan on hitting the roads, maybe to grab that early morning cup of coffee, thankfully no major slowdowns are reported. Just some quiet roadways is how we're starting. And now we did have a stalled vehicle reported here at 281 northbound near Hildebrand Avenue. It's always a very troublesome curve there. Thankfully, it looks like that has cleared out and we're not seeing any impact with traffic. But as a reminder, check those vehicles before you get your morning commute moving here. Taking a drive over here to 410 southbound near FM 78. This resurfacing work has been ongoing throughout the week, but it does look like it may have wrapped up today. So we'll keep a very close eye on that up until the end of the work week. But overall, we do have a lot of green out there on the screen. And again, plenty of that construction that could impact your commute. More on that a little bit later. But no surprises here if you're traveling into San Antonio. Those drive times look pretty normal. That journey from Bernie along I-10 eastbound should take you about 24 minutes to the Alamo City, 26 minutes along 281 southbound if you're traveling in from Bulverde this early, and 26 minutes along I-35 southbound. Not too awful from New Braunfels. Let's get it back here on TransGuide 281 at St. Mary's. Things again are moving just just fine for now, but we'll keep a close eye on things and have an update on those road closures a little bit later on. Mark, Steph.
Thank you. New this morning, San Antonio police say a man is dead after he was shot several times overnight trying to get away from other men. Happened about 11:30 on the city's east side in the 1100 block of Wyoming, just south of East Commerce. Police say the victim was in a fight with the two men in an SUV who then started exchanging gunfire with the victim. The men in the SUV got away. SAPD says the victim was shot several times in the torso and ran to his backyard. He was later found and pronounced dead by EMS crews.
And this was a scene from Sky 12 last night over Highway 90 near Couples Road. San Antonio police say a man was hit by a vehicle, and police also say the man was hit. He was wanted by police. Now, undercover officers were looking for him because he had multiple felony warrants. After they found him on the access road, the suspect saw the officers and ran up the ramp onto the highway and was then struck by a vehicle. He was taken to the hospital. No word on his condition.
Right now it's 5:06. Safety in our schools is something that's been on the minds of a lot of parents recently.
And that's why San Antonio's largest school district held a school safety symposium. Our Alyssa Cole joins us live in the studio to talk more about this. And Alyssa, the goal is to give parents a chance to ask questions about the district's plans.
Good morning, Mark, Stephanie. Yes, there was a special meeting held at Brennan High School last night. Now, that campus was in the headlines recently for several incidents, including weapons and THC vape pens found on school property. School officials say they want to address any concerns parents might have.
We also knew that this was a great location and a great community to start with. This is an amazing campus, and we want to make sure that we get out in front of any of the concerns that parents might have, give them an option to come in to learn about these topics.
Now, the school also showed how teachers and staff can do their best to keep their children safe. And of course, school officials say they plan to extend these types of learning opportunities throughout the entire school district. Mark, Stephanie.
Thank you. Bexar County Sheriff's deputies say a woman spanked her son with a belt so hard it left him with severe bruising. So deputies arrested 32-year-old Melanie Beth Bernal. She's charged with injury to a child with intent. According to arrest documents, relatives discovered the bruises. After speaking with Bernal, deputies say she spanked the child because, quote, he acted up in school, end quote. Bernal's bond is set at $5,000. This morning, a live look at the nation's capital. A massive leak of U.S. government secrets has left White House officials scrambling. As a matter of fact, a new Washington Post report says the leak came from a young man who worked on a military base.
The bombshell report describes how he allegedly posted the sensitive national security documents on Discord, an online chat room popular with those gamers. As ABC's Ann Wynn reports, the new report claims the apparent leaker had been posting the files weekly since last year.
This morning, a bombshell report is revealing details about the leak of what appears to be highly classified U.S. military documents. According to the Washington Post, the alleged leaker is in his 20s and worked on a military base. The Post reports he shared several documents a week beginning late last year with a group of about 24 people on Discord, an online chat room popular with gamers.
I don't think that there was a goal nor some sort of accomplishment that he was looking for in sharing these documents.
A member of the chat room says the man called America's intelligence community a sinister force that sought to suppress its citizens and keep them in the dark. The Washington Post says it spoke to a friend of the alleged leaker, agreeing not to name or show the young man, who said this about his friend.
He had disagreed with several occasions, such as Waco and Ruby Ridge, and thought that the government is overreaching in several aspects.
The report did not name the alleged leaker, and ABC News has not verified the report. In a statement, Discord said it's cooperating with law enforcement as the Justice Department opens a criminal investigation. Meanwhile, the Biden administration is trying to contain fallout from the leak, which included dozens of apparently classified Pentagon documents exposing top-secret intelligence. The files suggest potential problems for Ukraine, including a dire shortage of air defense missiles. The head of Ukrainian military intelligence says he spoke with his U.S. counterparts about the leak. He blames Russia for the leak, but the friend of the alleged leaker disputes that.
He is not a Russian operative. He is not a Ukrainian operative. I'll go as far to say he's not even on the east side of the world. He was a young, charismatic man who loved nature, God, who loved shooting guns and racing cars.
the post agreeing not to name or show that friend.
U.S. officials are likely to face more questions when they travel to Germany next week, when representatives of more than 50 nations gather to coordinate weapons and aid support for Ukraine. Em Nguyen, ABC News, Washington.
Time now 5:10, and we're at 55 degrees for now.
National Public Radio, better known as NPR, has decided to no longer use Twitter. We'll tell you why.
And fentanyl test strips are illegal in Texas, but some say they should be legalized. Up next, an update on a bill that's moving through the state capitol this legislative session that some say could save lives.
Outside with Live Cam, another pleasant morning, mid-50s, a nice cool spring day with that beautiful shot of downtown San Antonio. We're going to check on traffic coming up and get your Thursday forecast with Mike. Just about 5:14, a bill meant to legalize the use of fentanyl testing strips is moving through the state capitol this legislative session.
Local harm reduction groups are making their case in support of a simple and inexpensive test that could save people's lives. In states where the use is legal, they even provide detailed instructions on how to test the drugs by taking a sample and dissolving it in water, then adding the testing strip. A few seconds later, the strip will give a false negative result for fentanyl, although it does not show how much of the fentanyl is in the drug. Now, Corazon Ministries tells KSAT that many of the clients they help are using the strips to test the drugs, even though the bill has not passed.
Last year, we tested 150 unduplicated clients for HIV, Hep C, and syphilis.
A hot zone map with data from December of 2022 compiled by the San Antonio Fire Department shows the impact of overdoses is citywide. The House strongly supported House Bill 362. It now goes to the Senate for a vote.
Almost 5:15 on your Thursday.
LinkedIn is adding some new security features. Up next, how it's trying to better protect your identity online.
And we'll show you the new Google Maps that make it easier to explore national parks.
And a quick check of the roads with TransGuide looking over at Loop 1604 at Pat Booker Road. And also looking over there at Highway 281. Things seem to be moving right now, but we're going to be getting an update with Stephen Cavazos very soon.
Nothing drives a wolf more than a desire for meat. Your dog shares the same hunger. So we've added 20% more meat to protein-rich Blue Wilderness. More of what your dog goes wild for. Satisfy his primal desire. Go wild with Blue Wilderness, now with 20% more meat.
With Allegra, allergies don't hold us back. Allegra starts working 2 times faster than Claritin. And unlike Zyrtec, it won't make us drowsy, so you can live your greatness. And Allegra Hives works from the inside to relieve itching and reduce hives for 24 hours.
Get Macy's lowest prices of the season now, like summer-ready dresses starting at $39.99, up to 60% off designer suits, blazers, and pants, and the Radley sectional for $21.79. Download the app for even more deals at Macy's.
Welcome back. It's 5:18. I just checked the TransGuide cameras. We have flashing lights.
Yeah, flashing lights, never a good sign, especially this early in the morning. So right now, nothing's been reported by KSAT just yet, but according to the San Antonio Fire page, this could possibly be a rollover crash. Let's get a wider look at TransGuide. Check that out, because it's in a very busy area, I-10 near Vance Jackson. Very hard to make out now that we have first responders out on the scene. No word yet on any injuries. This just popped up on our radar, so let's hope everyone's doing okay out there. But this is, again, along I-10 near Vance Jackson Road. Really can't make out how many vehicles are involved either, but it does look like we do have paramedics also on the scene, so we'll hope everyone's doing okay. But right now we see a majority of those lanes blocked off. We'll work to get some information and also get this pinpointed on our map, but I can expect that we will see a few delays that will take place along I-10 as the morning commute does get rolling. We'll keep a very close eye on that, but another thing we've been keeping a close eye on is a lot of that construction. We've been talking about it all week, guys, and it's going to continue at least for a little while longer, especially here off Loop 14. 410 on the south side of San Antonio. These bridge repairs we mentioned earlier, it's going to start again at 8 in the morning and take us all the way up until Friday, April 21st. So we basically have another week to go of this. Work starts at 8 this morning and should wrap, hopefully, fingers crossed, at 5 in the afternoon. We'll see various main lane closures in both directions from Somerset Road to South Presa. But we'll be watching this area closely along with the crash here at I-10 at Vance Jackson Road. Again, it looks like maybe 3 lanes could be blocked off at this time. Traffic down just to 1 lane now, Micah. Not a good area to have any issue, but we'll watch it very closely.
Wow, boy, that is a mess this early in the morning. Thank you very much. Okay, another beautiful day in Texas yesterday. It was absolutely spectacular and a beautiful view of some of those flowers around that cactus. Thank you so much for the KSAT Connect picture. All right, this picture is pretty good looking as well. We got a lot of clear skies out there right now, but there are a couple of hints of fog. Not bad. New Braunfels 5 miles, 9 at Randolph. We don't have a few reporting stations out there right now. They're not reporting in this morning, but what we can tell you is temperatures once again are on the chilly side. We're up a couple of degrees compared to yesterday, but still we are just a few notches below normal, basically mid-50s around the area. And these numbers, the dew points, measure moisture in the atmosphere. So I show you, first of all, below 60, but they have crept up slightly compared to yesterday, and that's why we are seeing just a hint of some fog out there. Otherwise, mostly clear skies this morning. Temperatures will stay mid-50s, and then we'll warm up very nicely up to 75 already at noon, and then we're going to top off at 81 later on today. Yesterday we hit 79, so add a couple of notches to that, and still overall a really, really nice day. Just a tinge more humidity out there, but then the humidity is going to start to work its way back in here, especially overnight and then going into tomorrow. So lots of clear skies today, maybe 1 or 2 extra clouds out there, perhaps a bit of a milky shade to the sky with some high level moisture. Then a lot of clouds starting off tomorrow morning and throughout the day, going for basically just cloudy skies pretty much all day long. If there's a break here and there, great. Okay, now we get into tomorrow night. A couple of showers down there to the south, but notice how this particular model really doesn't have a whole lot going on. 1 or 2 out there to the west. That's going to be, as far as the chances for any rain at all, are very, very small. Maybe 10%, 20% overnight into early Saturday morning. But the atmosphere is very volatile, so if anything happens to pop up, it's going to strengthen very quickly, very easily, and could be strong to potentially severe, and that would be tomorrow night and then early on Saturday. But again, the odds of any rain are really, really small. Here's what the humidity is going to be doing, continuing to go up. We'll have that usual afternoon drop, but then it goes up overnight tonight. Tomorrow, very humid throughout the day. There's that drier air. Now, that's going to start to work its way in here on Saturday, but as it drier air gets in here, that's going to allow temperatures to spike. So we will be up to 90 Saturday afternoon. However, the humidity will start to drop down late in the day. And then look at that. A little bit below normal temperatures going into the middle part of next week. And maybe another rain chance by the middle of next week. Hopefully it gets out of here before Fiesta starts. 75 degrees at noon today, mostly sunny skies and high temperature up to 81. Plenty of sunshine, a couple of higher clouds out there. Tomorrow, plenty in the way of clouds, more humid around here. Small chance for rain, but if anything pops, could be strong, and that'll be early on Saturday. Then we're going to clear on out. It looks like the front's going to move through, say, mid-afternoon. Humidity will drop, allows temperatures to spike, and then we cool down somewhat and at or a little bit below normal by Sunday, Monday. Chance of rain Tuesday, Wednesday.
All right, but I do like that less humidity coming up.
Yeah. So it's not going to be long-lived as far as humidity coming back on in here. And yeah, late Saturday, Sunday, very nice.
We can handle it. Thank you, Mike.
Right now, 523, 55 degrees.
Let's look at your winning lotto numbers. We have pick 3232, Fireball 2, Daily 4, 3827, Fireball 2.
Cash 5 numbers 3, 12, 21, 27, 32. Lotto Texas 6, 12, 29, 38, 50, 54. And Powerball 9, 36, 41, 44, 59. Powerball 4, Power Play 2.
In today's Tech Bites, NPR leaves Twitter. The news outlet will no longer post on the platform after Twitter labeled it state-affiliated media, a term used for communist propaganda news sites. NPR says the government funding it receives is less than 1% of its budget. You can now prove that you are who you say you are on LinkedIn. The platform unveiled new features to verify your identity and employer, and you get a check mark as evidence. LinkedIn members can confirm their credentials with a code sent to their work email. Finally, an updated national parks feature on Google Maps just in time for summer. Google says park directions are getting more precise, and there's new help to see a park's most popular places. Trail searches now highlight an entire route and elevations, making it easier to know where a trail begins and ends. This is great because mountains aren't funny. They're hill areas. Hill areas. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
527, 55 degrees. Some parts of Florida have seen more than a foot of rain in just 24 hours. Up next, which airports and roadways are being shut down and how weather from Texas could make things worse. Plus, why Twitter owner Elon Musk says he's decided to fire 80% of Twitter's staff. And ahead on GMSA at 6 for Autism Awareness Month, the Metropolitan Transportation Authority is doing something very special, how they're creating a sense of inclusion for those on the spectrum. Making headlines this morning, parts of Florida under a flash flood emergency. Up next, we'll show you the areas that have received more than a foot of rainfall in 24 hours.
The day is starting out with a murder investigation for San Antonio police, a case involving a man shot dead right outside his own home. Good morning, I'm Katrina Weber. I'll tell you what police believe led to this coming up.
And let's look out there with live cam. We are starting off cool, and it's going to warm up a little bit more this afternoon, but still nice. We're going to check in with Mike to see when that humidity is going to sneak back in.
It'll sneak later on tonight, basically. So it's trying to edge
Sneaky.
here, I guess is the best way to put it. So, but otherwise, another great day. Did you get out and enjoy it yesterday?
Oh, yeah. Spent some time on the back porch.
Yeah,
how could you not, right?
Same, yeah. It was a great day.
It was almost seemed like later on in the evening, kind of coolish. It felt
did?
like, yeah, once that sun got a little bit lower. And this morning, speaking of coolish, we have clear skies, coolish temperatures. Grab a jacket once again. You won't need it by later on this afternoon. We've got 56 degrees. Average normal low is 58, so just a couple of notches below that. Dew points at 52, so it's not as though those numbers are just like one on top of the other, but close enough. Plus, without any breeze out there, that we are seeing a couple of patches of fog. Randolph has now dropped to 4 miles. It was just at 9 last half hour, 5 miles at New Braunfels. We're not getting any readings out there out of the hill country as of right now. And a little bit more fog down here to the southeast. Not bad, but again, as we approach sunrise with the clear skies, as temperatures try and drop down a little bit, we're going to have to watch out for a couple of more patches of this fog. 48 right now in Comfort, and basically mid to low 50s. Again, slightly below normal temperatures, but the humidity, these dew points, are up ever so slightly compared to yesterday. Still well below 60, still nothing to complain about. And we're going to have another just great looking day. Maybe a few more kind of high clouds or some kind of milky shade to the sky later on today. But I mean, that's sort of splitting here. It's still very, very nice. 75 at noon, 81 high temperature later on today. Yes, the humidity will come back in here overnight, especially tomorrow. Small rain chances, but if something pops, could be strong later on tomorrow, early on Saturday. And I think we're going to salvage at least late Saturday afternoon as far as getting rid of the humidity, and Sunday looks perfect. Details on that coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, still got that big problem out there, right?
Unfortunately, Mike. In fact, I'm trying to get in touch with our digital team right now to see if we can send a push alert out about this, because TxDOT has upgraded the severity level to this crash as a major. So you can see right now traffic is moving along in one lane of direction right there, but not a good area. I-10 eastbound is where that crash has been pinpointed near Vance Jackson Road. And right now, first responders have blocked off several lanes of traffic. I do also notice that there is a vehicle out there with the hazard lights on, so we want to make sure that you're aware of what's going on out there, especially if you're traveling in those eastbound lanes as you approach Vance Jackson Road. Not seeing any delays this morning, so that could be because it is a little bit past 5:30, so that early morning is on our side. We'll have to watch that area closely, but let's hope everyone's doing okay out there. Let's give you a wide look at the metropolitan area while we're at it. Thankfully, no other issues have been reported, but we have talked about several road closures that could impact the commute, but that won't happen until a little bit later on. For right now, you're in the clear. And if you're traveling into San Antonio from any of these communities, it's still pretty much the same here. 28 minutes along 37 northbound heading in from Pleasanton, and about 30 minutes if you're traveling along US 90 from Castroville. So if you're at home, maybe you want to head to San Antonio, now would probably be the time to do it. 17 minutes at arrival from Lytle on I-35 northbound. But let's get one last look here at TransGuide I-10 Advanced Jackson. You can see those flashing lights out there. Not a good way to wake up, but we'll watch it very closely. And again, make sure you have your KSAT mobile app downloaded. We're going to get ready to send a push alert here momentarily. Guys.
Thank you, Stephen. Murder could be the charge awaiting two men once they are caught. This morning, San Antonio police are still looking for them in connection with a late night shooting. They say the victim was shot outside his home and died in his own backyard. Our Katrina Weber is live near downtown with that story. Katrina, do police know how or why this happened?
Well, they say it seems that the victim had some sort of a disagreement with those two men, and then that led to what may have been an actual exchange of gunfire. And when it was over, that victim, who was in his 30s, was dead. Police found him around 11:30 last night in the backyard of his East Side home at the corner of Wyoming and East Pine Streets. Police say he had been shot several times in his upper body. And again, investigators say it looks like he had a heated exchange with those two other men, which then led to the shooting. And they are looking into the possibility that the victim fired back at them. Now, police say the two gunmen were last seen running toward a dark-colored SUV and then driving off. And so far, they have not been able to track them down. Reporting live near downtown, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Parts of the Sunshine State are being battered with big storms this week.
Heavy rain has fallen in some sections, and as CNN's John Lawrence reports, at least one county has issued a flash flood emergency.
Several days of nonstop rain in South Florida, transforming roadways into rivers.
So that's where the drain is to go fast.
On Wednesday, some areas, including Dania Beach and Lauderhill, saw more than a foot of rainfall in 24 hours, with Fort Lauderdale not far behind.
I was driving to pick up my girlfriend from the Amtrak station over by Little River, and I had to make a U-turn right before there was a train intersection because it was completely flooded.
The Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport had to close because the surrounding roads were flooded, and it will remain shut down until at least Thursday afternoon, according to officials there. The city of Fort Lauderdale tweeted that the city crews are working to mitigate issues and keep residents safe. Although the Broward Sheriff's Office is advising residents to stay indoors and off the roads if possible.
It's not recommended. If you see that it's flooded, just turn back around.
Some people had to deal with the wrath of Mother Nature. The mayor of Hollywood, Florida, Josh Levy, told CNN that, quote, "This is the most severe flooding he's ever seen." And it could be a while before things start to dry out. The Weather Prediction Center says strong to severe storms in the Texas area could be heading eastward Thursday and Friday. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
A federal appeals court has preserved access to an abortion drug for now. However, it's under tighter rules that would allow the drug to only be dispensed up to 7 weeks, not 10 by the U.S. mail. The 5th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals in New Orleans made the ruling just before midnight. An earlier decision by a lower court judge here in Texas had completely blocked the FDA's approval of the drug following a lawsuit by its opponents. The drug was approved for use by the Food and Drug Administration more than 2 decades ago. It's used in combination with a second drug.
In Baltimore, a man is dead after police say he was pushed onto the subway tracks and was electrocuted. It happened yesterday evening, and investigators say the 28-year-old man was standing near the edge of the platform when another man pushed him from behind, causing him to fall onto the tracks where he was electrocuted. The suspect is on the run, and the investigation is ongoing.
Twitter CEO Elon Musk says he has laid off more than 6,000 people at the company since taking it over. Musk was quoted as saying Twitter now has only 1,500 employees. He said that's down from under 8,000 at the time of his acquisition. The reduction equates to roughly 80% of Twitter's staff. Musk said drastic action is needed when he came on board. He claimed the company was facing a $3 billion negative cash flow situation. Musk purchased Twitter for $44 billion last October.
Time now, 5:38 and 55 degrees for now.
Amazon may soon be charging fees to return items. Up next, how you can avoid paying extra.
Plus, the price of stamps is probably going up again this summer. We're going to tell you how much the Postal Service is expected to lose.
At least one more morning of a light jacket out there. 55 degrees at San Antonio International Airport. One day closer to the weekend. You're watching GMSA on a Thursday.
And welcome back. It's 5:41 in your morning consumer headlines. Amazon is trying to get customers to return fewer of their online orders. Now, that includes charging a fee to return items to UPS stores. Amazon will start charging customers a $1 fee if they return items to a UPS store. Now, that's if there is a Whole Foods, Amazon Fresh grocery store, or Kohl's closer to their delivery address. Amazon owns Whole Foods and Fresh and has a return partnership with Kohl's, Zara, H&M, J.Crew, and other chains are now adding fees of up to $7 to return items online.
Price of stamps is likely going up this summer. The U.S. Postal Service told regulators this week it plans to increase the price of first-class stamps from 63 to 66 cents. If approved, the change would take place in July. Postal Service says the increase is necessary to offset rising operating expenses. The agency expects to lose $4.5 billion this year.
Time now, it's 5:42 and 55 degrees for now.
Ready for a fun family pet? Animal Defense League is coming up next.
And a quick check of the roads with TransSky, looking over at I-37 at Houston. Things are looking okay there, and also here in this shot, I-35 at Topperline. But Stephen is checking out an accident over at I-10 at Vance Jackson. We'll be checking in with him very soon.
You want the definition of a puppy with lots of energy? It is this guy right here. Nadia's here from the Animal Defense League. Who is this little one?
This is King, and as you can tell, a lot of puppy energy. He is 4 months old, and he is looking for his forever home.
And he still has those little razor sharp puppy teeth, and he's trying to gnaw at our hands. And that's only because puppies need things to chew on, and this will help him calm down immensely. So
yes.
A little bit of training. I mean, he's going to obviously backyard and play with the kids and everything like that, but yeah, a little bit of training, he's going to be just fine. Short hair and easy to take care of, right?
Super easy, and yeah, just like regular babies, they teeth. So yeah, he just needs some teething rings and toys, and he's going to be a great dog, honestly. So he's just looking to play.
And needless to say, he has plenty of energy.
He does. So great running buddy for sure.
And 4 months old, he'll probably grow a little bit as well. But look at that tail going. He's just a happy little boy. So what do you got going on?
So we have some very exciting news. We just partnered up with Gettle Air Conditioning and Plumbing, and they have decided to partner with us because they want to give us 15% of all of their Sadie membership sales back to ADL to help pets just like King.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes.
Well, that is wonderful. Well, if you'd like more information about that or more information about this guy, don't forget they have all of their Fiesta medals and everything going on. Head on over to 11th Road in Nacogdoches, Paul Jolly Center across from the zoo, the PetSmart, or adltexas.org. Thank you, dear.
You guys had your hands full, Mike.
We did.
Yes. So cute, though. Time now, 5:47. Still problems there on I-10 at Vance Jackson, Stephen.
Yep, but some progress there, Steph. I-10 eastbound at Vance Jackson, we have seen a few lanes actually reopen, and now it just looks like first responders have just one lane shut down. But unfortunately, this is a crash that has been reported in the eastbound lanes, and no word yet on any injuries. But we hope everyone's doing okay. But you could see that it looks like we may be in the clearing stages. In fact, some of those flashing lights look like they just went out. However, road flares still remain in the area, so just remember to drive safe. We'll work to get that information for you a little bit later, but it doesn't look like it's going to cause much of an issue anymore. I-10 eastbound as you approach Vance Jackson Road is where that crash was pinpointed. Never really saw a delay despite traffic being down just to one lane at one point in the morning, but just remember to drive safe out there. The roads are pretty quiet, but we're getting to that busy hour we all know as morning rush, but no need to rush out the door. However, as I mentioned, we do have several road closures in place that could impact your commute a little bit later on, especially here off US 181 in Wilson County. We have that cable installation work that began earlier in the week, and this is still going to take place all the way up until Tuesday, April 18th. So still some days to go, but the work starts at 8 in the morning and should wrap at 4 in the afternoon. We will see various lane closures in both directions from Bexar County line to FM 536. But back here on TransGuide, I-10 at Vance Jackson, a much better shot there from TransGuide. No issues reported other than that crash, and still some active construction out there as well. But we'll watch things closely throughout the morning.
Back to that dog, when we were talking about needs chew toys, and that's a stress reliever for dogs. They chew on things like that. And with that guy, give him some toys to play with and run around. He just wants attention and to play. So.
Yeah.
Maybe he needs a yard with wildflowers and a feathery friend to play with.
That would be nice to run around.
Because we recorded that dog segment on Tuesday, which was National Pet Day. And, it's not just dogs and cats, but there are chickens, too. So.
Aw, Cinnamon. How cute. Yeah.
Cinnamon the chicken. I wonder if you can play fetch with the chicken. I don't know. I left them speechless. There we go. Anyway, thank you very much. And thank you for the picture of Cinnamon there. So, all right, we've got a lot of clear skies right now. It is cool this morning. Jacket weather once again. And because even though we've got cooler temperatures and, dew points, humidity is not bad when you step outside. You don't feel it. But relative to the temperature, it's very high. So, therefore, with the clear skies out there, we've got the ingredients for some fog. And visibility has dropped to just 1.75 miles now at New Braunfels, Randolph 7 miles. So that's improved ever so slightly. So we've got these temperatures in the mid-50s around here. And again, the dew points are running neck and neck with that. So relative humidity is high. And with those clear skies, we'll have to keep watching out for some of that fog to still be around and maybe thicken up in places even as we go into the next couple of hours. We're going to have a lot of sunshine today. A couple of maybe high wispy clouds, a little milky shade of the sky, a little bit more moisture aloft in the atmosphere, but still, it's kind of splitting hairs. Tuesday, yesterday, today are going to be fantastic days. We'll be up to 75 at noon. Top off today at 81, a cloud here or there. Southeasterly wind, though, is going to start to pull in a bit more in the way of some humidity, especially later on tonight. This afternoon's still going to be comfortable. Now, we're going to have lots of clear skies with a cloud or two here or there, but then the clouds really start to thicken up overnight as the humidity comes back on in here tomorrow. Perhaps a little mist or drizzle here in the morning, tomorrow morning. Then in the afternoon, now, this particular computer model really doesn't have much as far as rain. A couple of spots well down there to the south. Rain chances are extremely low. 10% maybe tomorrow, 20% going into early Saturday. But if anything does happen to pop up, it could be strong to severe very easily and very quickly just because the atmosphere is very volatile on tomorrow as well as going into the first part of the day on Saturday. So humidity comes back up in here, but notice how by the afternoon it's going to be dropping down. So the front's going to move through a little bit earlier than it had previously looked like. So we'll salvage the latter part of Saturday. However, we're still going to have some of the heating in the afternoon. So with that dry air in place, temperatures are going to be skyrocketing. Now it'll be a little bit more comfortable on Saturday, but we are going to be hitting 90. And then look at that. We get a nice break on Sunday and into Monday. Yeah, humidity is going to start to work its way back in here by the middle part of next week and bring with it, though, at least a small rain chance. 75 today at noon, mostly sunny skies. And again, a high temperature today up to 81. Really comfortable. The normal high is 80. So pretty much right where we should be. And we'll have a bunch of sunshine out there. And then lots of clouds tomorrow, more humid tomorrow, some mist in the morning, and then that small chance for a stray storm later on tomorrow evening, early Saturday. And we'll have that front move through. Looks like about mid-afternoon, early to mid-afternoon. Dry air initially, very hot, 90. Then upper 70s Sunday, Monday, less humid, and that small chance of rain middle of next week.
About an hour ago, we asked Mike to change that unbelievably warm temperature Saturday, and it's still there.
But the nice thing is, because it had looked like the front was going to be a little bit later on, right? And the dry air moving in here, so it was going to be hot and humid Saturday. It's just going to be hot, but the humidity will drop in the afternoon.
Okay. That's all right. So you still have an hour to drop it down to 89 for us.
Oh, Mark.
And just because that, I'm not going to.
Okay. Then 88. Perfect.
Okay.
553, 55 degrees.
The Super Mario Brothers movie smashed box office records in its opening weekend. Now, up next, we're going to hear from the creator of Mario and what he thinks about the film.
What is this place?
The Super Mario Brothers movie is not a direct translation of any single Mario Brothers video game, instead drawing from 4+ decades of Mario history.
I got this. No problem.
Mario started out as a drawing, and then he evolved into like a doll, and now he's evolved into something more close to human than ever. And I really have nothing but applause for the team at Illumination.
a film very different from anything we've ever done before. It was a tremendous responsibility for us, but we forged a partnership that was worked like we were standing next to each other, even though we were separated on different continents.
The movie is filled with visual and audio references from across Nintendo's history. Fans might even need to see the film more than once to spot them all.
I think you're absolutely right. In fact, I myself need to watch it a couple times so I can capture all the things that the staff at Illumination had snuck in there.
Some of the secrets are this poster featuring the character Toadette and an antique shop packed with icons from Mario history.
Where am I?
During their journey, the heroes cross Bob-omb Battlefield from the Super Mario 64 game and past the floating pyramids of Super Mario Odyssey.
Here we go!
Probably seeing it again soon in Hollywood. I'm Rick Damigella.
Right now on KSAT.com, we have everything you need to know ahead of Fiesta. All you have to do is scan the QR code on your screen to be taken to our KSAT Fiesta page. Event schedules, news, and even how to get tickets to our Fiesta parties. It's all available to you right now. Well, as the tax deadline approaches, many people have one question. It has to do with inflation. Ahead in our next hour of GMSA, we'll explain what impact it will have on your taxes this year. Metropolitan Transportation Authority is doing something special for Autism Awareness Month. Still ahead, how they're creating a sense of inclusion for those on the spectrum. And traffic looks good right now at 10 at Vance Jackson. You're watching GMSA.